Hello, welcome back to our Rule the Waves 3 playthrough of Japan starting in 1890, Pacific Empire. This is, I believe, the third episode now. I'm recording this on Monday the 10th. You'll be seeing this on Friday I don't know, 14th, I suppose, or 15th, I'm not sure, whatever. But we are on the verge of potential war with either Russia or China, which is why we paused the last episode. Because once a war kicks off, it tends to throw you directly into a battle. And I just didn't want the last episode to be 45 minutes long, even though these early battles, unless they're like a giant fleet battle, they do tend to go by pretty quick. Because you can crank them up to high speed and you're just getting close, so you're just doing gun duels. There's not a whole lot you have to really worry about other than maneuvering a little bit, watching as your ships fire and miss a lot. So we're going to check out our area overview here. We have an above average commander for Northeast Asia. Perfect. It's probably about the best we can hope for. Even if we take a look at our officers here, we can see their special abilities. Yeah, the best we have is above average. So that's what we'll keep. Yeah. All right. Let's make a backup of the game just in case. I don't remember if I did it last time. But start us off here with a new turn going into July of 1893. There we go. We get a dock increase. That'll help. We're at 7,000. Should put us at like 8,000 maybe? 9,000? New docks completed. Well, that... Hmm. Well, this is unfortunate because it's going to push our tension with Russia up immediately. We do have sloping deck armor now. I believe that is our first... Hey, tension didn't go up with Russia. It went up with France. I think that's our first research. It is. It is. Very cool. Excellent. But our dock size went up to 8,500, so we've probably got 500 off of that and 1,000 off of increasing the dock size ourselves. We have a lot of work to do. It's going to be a while before we can build like 10,000 displacement ships. A couple more years probably, unless we get lucky with more private dock size increases. Let's see. They want to give us some ship design for 1,200. You know, let's buy it and give it a try. I'm a little bit of a gambler sometimes. Tension with France goes up. Tension with China goes up. That might be war. Oh, very close. Very close. So ship design. Um, if it puts us that invention, if it puts us one more step ahead, that'd be pretty cool. Even if it doesn't give us the full level. We're gonna gain prestige and refuse to lower tension with China. Because if we want to go to war, we want to go to war with China if possible here. Everybody's getting along because they all hate us. They hate us because they ain't us. Nice. Our new Tashima class is finishing up here. This is one of those decisions where the tension it's gonna go up with the four major powers here. So we're just gonna say no this time around. I would like to have said yes, but we're gonna say no. We're gonna gain a prestige. We're just trying to avoid cranking the tension up any further with France or Russia in favor of rising tension with China. Excellent. Perfect. Wonderful. All right. We're at war. War were declared. All right. So the first thing we need to do is we need to select our corvettes. And we need to, it's been a while since I've done this, put them on trade protection. Bada bing, bada boom. Our Tashimas are starting to finish up now. They will be finishing in the next next month to 4 months from now. So they will be participating in this war. So we're going to throw the Tashima itself into the 5th Light Cruiser Division. And in the next few months, it'll finish working up. It'll also be joined by its shipmates or its sister ships. Perfect. We are at war with China. It took a little bit over 2 years to get to a war, but we did it. Now we need to evaluate what China has opposed to us. So they have 3 battleships ready to go. They have 4 heavy cruisers, 12 light cruisers. So they have the advantage in battleships. They have the advantage, and they have 1 more heavy cruiser than we do. We only have 3. And then light cruisers, we have the advantage there, I believe. We have, we have about 14, I think, because it's like 3, 3, 3, and then 4, and then 1, and then we're even on corvettes. So this should be a pretty decent war. It depends on how good their battleships are. They're building some in Britain. They're building some in the U.S. If you take a look at what they have speed 15, which is the same as our battleships. 4 12-inch guns. We have 2 9-inch guns. But then they have secondary batteries of 2 6-inch guns, which is not that great. It's actually pretty bad. They have the advantage with the main armament, and their belt is bigger. I think our belt's kind of small. But if they hit us with 12-inch guns, good for them. But we have the advantage of the 8-inch secondaries. So we just get close and just go to town on them. What kind of belt do we have? 7-inch belt. Yeah, we can't resist the 12-inch shots, but their secondaries won't be able to do much to us other than some superficial damage here. So we're going to go to the next turn. We have a battleship engagement. We will generate this battle. Looks like it's going to be a good one. Lots of ships involved. Alrighty. So for settings, we are on, I think it's captain mode, which just means we have full control over our fleets most of the time, except when when we lose control. We also, for settings, did 60 aircraft allowed per base, because if you leave it on 100, it gets a little bit crazy. So we're going to just we're going to go up to max speed here, max game speed. All right, let's see here. Turn off our torpedoes. Keep our line ahead. We're gonna go up to squad max for the light cruisers. These heavy cruisers, we're going to put them on screen mode in a line ahead, and we'll put them on AI control, and they will hopefully just follow around the 1st battle division. We're going to go up to max speed on the battle division, battleships because we want to get them into that 8-inch secondary range. Turn off the torpedoes. We are in line ahead. And we might have torpedoes on these battleships. We don't. Cool. So we don't have to worry about turning off the torpedoes. Okay. Misunderstanding orders already, but it is just the first battle. I don't have very many expectations here. We're just going a minute at a time. Unfortunately, our fast light cruiser division, the one that goes up to 21 knots, is off doing its own thing. It's nighttime, it's partly cloudy, so the visibility is rather low. There we go. We get our light cruisers on the way. I'm going to straighten out our battle division here a little bit. And the goal here is just to catch up to these guys and try and sink a ship or two if we can. Get the early advantage in the war. First light cruiser division has also gotten itself a little bit confused. It appears we might be fighting some corvettes, but that's probably a light cruiser, maybe? Well, actually, it looks kind of small. If you compare it to our light cruiser, it does look small, so it could be a corvette. We just hit it with an 8-inch gun. And a 3-inch gun. In fact, we're going to set the this cruiser division to core. And it should start following the battleships. So hopefully that'll keep the smoke out of the way. Yeah, it'll form like a battle line where it's following them up. These look like battleships there, so I would love to catch up to them. Looks like they're turning around. So this is sort of our opportunity here. Okay. So we're going to fire torpedoes at what we think is a heavy cruiser. We're going to fire at what we think is a heavy cruiser. The last one in line is going to fire at what we think is a battleship, which I think these are all battleships. So we're going to turn our own battleships over to get broadside, and we've lost control of our light cruisers, which is unfortunate. But this gives us a chance to do some broadside 8-inch guns. I don't know. They do have torpedo tubes on their battleships, so we have to be a little bit wary here. So let's change course slightly. All right, we can't take control. We do have torpedo tubes on these heavy cruisers. And they get up to 18 knots, so we're going to go outside. All right, we lost the fire control in the Shikishima. Hopefully we have backups. Sure would like to have control of my light cruisers there. The Takachio. I guess those really are, I guess those really are corvettes, huh? Well, that's fine. Lots of signal misunderstandings here. But that's to be expected in these early battles, especially. What kind of guns do we have on this thing? 4 7-inch guns, 8 6-inch guns, 12 3-inch guns. We should be lighting these ships up, just like this right here, where we're hitting them with tons of little guns. And we're not going to do really any damage to them like that, other than like structure damage, but we can hope for a fire. We can sink one of their battleships in the first encounter here. That would be great. Put us on an even playing field. Looks like their battleship is falling behind. Trying to fire a torpedo at them. Looks like one of our heavy cruisers is also falling behind. They've taken a hit. They're at 8 flooding. Speed has dropped to 11. Those torpedoes are looking good, but this is an early battle. You can't have too high expectations. Yeah, they missed. Okay. Fire torpedoes again. There we go. And we might need to drop the Osama out of the battle here. Sort of detach it. We're going to grab control of it here. Cool. And we're going to use it. We're very far from home. We're going to use it as a finisher here. High speed attack. And then we're going to go stern at them. There we go. So we can fire the rear torpedo. And we're just trying to make sure that they're dead. So we're going to fire one at the rearmost battleship, because when you're firing torpedoes, you have to go for targets that are generally behind where you are, because you can't fire a torpedo forward very well. Well, you can't fire it at all from a broadside. But if we fired the nose-mounted torpedoes, it would kind of go like that, and it's slow, and the enemy battleship can maneuver basically all at once, and it just the differences in speed between the torpedo and the battleship are not very much. So the battleship has a good chance to just walk or drive away, sail away. All right, we lost control. Nice, another torpedo hit potentially. Remember, these are always reports. They're not necessarily accurate. All right, we are expended on our port side torpedoes. The Izumo is dead in the water. What happened to it? Not sure, but let's maneuver a little bit here so we don't get torpedoed by that heavy cruiser. Now, can we fire our rear torpedo? We can, we can. But we're still going to chase this other battleship. The Izumo. What happened to the Izumo? So it took an engine room hit. Not great. Definitely not great. The speed is starting to get a little bit of speed back up. The Osama, we're just going to send it out, not necessarily home, because there is nothing near home here. But we're just going to send it out of the battle. We're gonna swing back into this battleship to get our nose-mounted torpedo launch. May have went too far there. We can fire at least at the heavy cruisers. And then we'll fire at the battleship. And these heavy cruisers that we have now, like the ones we started out with, started the game out with, just like our light cruisers, they are expendable. They're old technology already, even only a couple years into the game. Well, I mean, they're technically the same technology as everybody else, but it's not great. It's really not. Okay, so we have just the port side torpedoes left on this heavy cruiser. So let's try to use it to try to finish off this battleship if we can. Nice, that's a good hit. Looked like it maybe hit it like in the stern a little bit there. Let's bring our battleships back to try to finish off the damaged battleships there. And hopefully that will let us save the Izumo, because it's getting pounded there because it can't maneuver. In fact, we're going to detach it, and we're going to give it fresh orders to turn. And we're going to fire a torpedo if we can. Nope, I think our torpedo tubes are flooded. I think that was something else that was on the damage there. But there should be a battleship down here somewhere, so we're sending this fast light cruiser that we still have. There it is. Nope, there it is. We're sending it in. We're going to juke them a little bit if we can, like kind of make them think we're going one way, but we're going to go another way. Alright, we are getting hit. They are trying to protect that battleship, and this is a kind of a suicidal maneuver here that we're doing. But it could very well pay off. So we're going to slow down here to cruise speed on our battleships so we get more accuracy. The Izumo, still only making 2 knots. We're just going to send it northeast. The Tokuwa, we're going to bring it back around. Looks like the torpedoes have reloaded. We're going to fire off a torpedo. Hope for a hit. Nope. Despite that being a slow target, torpedoes are not particularly accurate in this era, even though we did go into torpedo training for our doctrines, because we're Japan. Of course we go into torpedo training. Are we parallel enough? Yes, we are. Okay. So if the enemy battleship were going any faster, we wouldn't be able to train our broadside torpedo tube far enough ahead of the ship to actually attack it. Okay, we missed. All right. Time to get out of there. We're going to go max -2 to try to save the engines a little bit. We're going to slow down our battleship division to 8 knots. We're getting the Izumo sped up. We're going to start going more east than north now. Let's turn like this. We're going to get closer. We do need to be aware that this enemy battleship does have torpedo tubes. So we got to be a little bit careful. So we're just going to go like this. We're just going to maneuver as we attack it, try to finish it off. Looks like it might be on fire. It is on fire, which is very good. And then Torpedoes away. Cool. We're going to give it one more from the nose of the Tokawa. Bow-mounted torpedo launcher, go. Cool. That should do it. There are no other enemy ships in the area that I can see. Okay, sort of slow everyone down here to... the Tokawa's going to come over here and try to finish off this other battleship. We're going to go up to cruise speed on our battleships and start getting out of here. The Izumo, getting up to 6 knots now. Can't take control over our light cruisers yet. And can we finish them off? I think we do. Okay. Turn and fire the stern torpedo, just to make sure we're firing everything we got and we're getting out of here. All right. Take you down to cruise speed, and now we just get out of here if we can. Let the game run. I think we got all 3 of their battleships. Let's max speed, get us up to 10 knots there on the Izumo. Looking like we're pretty good here. No ships left at sea. So, did we get all their battleships? We did. We did. We got all their battleships, and we inflicted heavy damage on a heavy cruiser. This is very important that we did this, because they're building more battleships. I think they're building another 3. So if they could have started finishing up their battleships, they'd have us in a blockade, and that would be quite nasty and not very fun as Japan. So let's take a look at our ship details. Sinking, sinking, and sunk. They did fire torpedoes. They did try. We see where they fired torpedoes off. And they each took 3 torpedo hits. Log entries. They took some... I'm wondering if that's them hitting the Izumo in the engine. I don't know. All right, I can't decipher that. All right, exit the battle. We gain a prestige for a major victory. We get some victory points. We're not going to name that battle, even though it was a very, very decisive one in our favor. Oh, our the guy we paid was completely worthless, as it is sometimes. But yeah, we need to deal with this China situation as quickly as we can and get out of the war so that the world tensions go back down, because we are kind of in danger of fighting a double war here against a couple of world powers, and then you have China. They're actually building 5 battleships. Wow. Take a look at the messages here. Nothing about China. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to start spying on China now. And we're going to start spying on Germany to try to steal some of their technology potentially. And we're spying on China just because we want to know what they're up to over there. There might be a little bit sneaky with whatever they're doing. So this new Toshima class light cruiser goes into the 5th division along with the flag of that particular class. We're going to go into fleet organization and we're going to build 2 more light cruiser divisions just to give us a little bit more to work with. Look at that, we're half an hour in. Very cool. So let's take a look at the almanac here again real quick. The Chinese are now at 88,000, almost 89,000 displacement left, whereas we're at 112,000 displacement. We might be able to start blockading them soon, but what we're going to do is we're going to let, probably going to let like a couple more months run of this encounter, of this war, and then we're going to start aiming for some of their ports. We're going to try to take a port off of them if we can, which would be really nice. Get us a little bit of territory and position us for future expansion south. And if we happen to win the war and earn some concessions, I'd like to take Formosa from them, otherwise known as Taiwan. That would give us a sort of a platform to launch into the Southeast Asia theater. Yeah, so we're going to save the game. We're going to make a backup just in case something weird happens, because as we know, when this game does updates, sometimes you can lose your saves if you're not careful. So I think maybe the key to doing that is to keep a backup and revert back to the old version. Okay. Anyhow, I hope you're still enjoying. This is the first week of the new campaign done, Monday through Friday, or Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So that's the first week done. So I guess I'll see you all on Monday. Appreciate you so much. And yeah, that's it. Bye.